chocolate chip cookies. A favourite from childhood with a glass of milk. I love mine fresh from the oven so they're still warm and gooey. And to make it extra special, here are my giant chocolate chip cookies. First of all, we are going to put butter into our bowl. We're going to mix our butter and our sugars together. So I'll put all the quantities below this video so you can see them. So it's butter in there. This is light brown sugar, soft light brown sugar. And this is caster sugar. So I've got two different types of sugars. The brown sugar will help the cookies become softer and chewier and gooier. So that's why I always use brown sugar in cookies. So we're just going to cream this together until it's all combined and nice and creamy. It'll take just a few minutes to combine it up. There we go. So now I've creamed my butter and sugars together, and that's what it looks like. So all you're looking to do is combine them so that they're completely mixed up together. So to that, I'm going to add my vanilla. Get my half teaspoon. So it's half a teaspoon of vanilla, but like I said, I'll put the recipe below this video. And 1 egg. And now we're going to mix it all back up again. Okay, we are done. So that is all my initial mix done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sieve my dry ingredients into this and then mix it all back up again. Right, so to my wet ingredients, I'm going to add some flour. And baking powder, baking soda. My secret ingredient is corn flour. It's corn flour or cornstarch if you're in America. What corn flour does is going to make it really soft in the middle, so it's really squidgy the way I think cookies should be, but it'll help it crisp on the outside as it cooks in the oven. So there's my corn flour gone in, and of course salt. So we'll sieve all of that together and then we'll stir it all through. There we go, all done. So now I'm going to stir it all through, mix it all up, and that's our cookie dough ready. I always had shop bought cookies as a child, but the first time I made my own homemade cookies, I knew that this was the best way forward. And then I discovered the American style, which is what this one is, where it's not like a biscuit where it's hard on the outside and the inside and crunchy, but actually soft and gooey, and I completely fell in love with them. Right, so our cookie dough is now mixed up, and what I'm going to add to that are my chocolate chips. Now this is, I've put in my recipe below, you can put anything between 200 and 250 grams. You can put more if you want. I go on the side of more because I like chocolate. So this is a mix of milk and white chocolate chips, and they're just going to go in. I'm just going to mix them through, and then we're going to move on to the next step. A bit extra isn't a bad thing. And the reason I say it's always good to put more in than you think is because with chocolate chip cookies, you absolutely need some chocolate with every single bite, if not more than just a little bit. Otherwise, it wouldn't be chocolate chip cookies, would it? There we go. And we are done. So your finished mixture will look quite sticky, but lots of chocolate chips in. It will actually look like you've got more chocolate chips than cookie, but I promise it will not be that way at the end when you eat it. So what I'm going to do now I've got a baking tray. This is secret number 2 of making cookies. The first secret is the cornstarch to make it soft and gooey and chewy in the middle, but crisp on the outside. And the second secret is chilling your dough. Now, because we used room temperature butter, the butter is warm, but putting it in the fridge will allow the dough to cool down enough so that it holds its shape better and it doesn't all spread out when you cook it in the oven. What I'm going to now is I'm going to grab my spoon. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop handfuls of dough, roll them up, make them into balls and put them on the tray. And then that's going to go in the fridge for an hour. So I make these really big because I love them giant. You can make them whatever size you want. If you make them smaller, you will need to adjust the cooking time in your oven. So the bigger they are, the longer they'll need. The smaller they are, the less time they'll need. So all I'm doing is I'm taking a decent handful there and I'm just making it into a ball like that and then popping it on my baking tray. So a generous tablespoon's worth. It is still very sticky, but it is going to be beautiful. This is fabulous for the kids to do too, because they get super sticky and then of course they get to lick their fingers after. Right, there we go. There's my cookie dough balls. So what I'm going to do now is pop them in the fridge so they can cool down and firm up for about an hour or so. And I will see you on the other side. I'm going to go and play some piano while I wait. Okay, so once the cookies were done in the fridge after an hour, I put them individually on my baking trays and put them in the oven, my preheated oven at 160. They are worth it. When they come out of the oven, as you can see from here, this has been out a couple of minutes now. What happens is you're looking for the edges to be slightly browner than the middle. And when it comes out, it will be completely smooth and flat on top and it'll be quite puffy. And as you pull it out, after a couple of minutes, it'll crinkle back down like this. And that's going to give it that lovely squidgy chewiness in the middle. So this is what it'll look like, but I'm not going to move that until it is cool because it will fall apart if I do. So over here are some that I made previously and they are now cool, which is why I have transferred them onto my cooling rack. That's the one, my cooling rack to cool down completely. They are amazing, almost as big as my head, huge. They are perfectly golden on the bottom and they are, I'm going to crack one open just for you, beautifully squidgy in the middle. Now, because it's cooled down, it's not as gooey as it would have been, but you can see how soft that is as I squeeze that middle, but the outside is really crisp. So it's the middle of it that is the chewy, gooey bit. Honestly, these are amazing cookies. You are going to love them. I have to dig in. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, that is what a cookie should be. Happy baking.